Since its founding in 1681 and as one of the original 13 colonies, Pennsylvania has been an integral part of the nation's development. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Pennsylvania's coal industry would fuel industrialization, foster a massive steel industry, drive victory in 2 world wars, and propel the country to the status of a world economic leader. In southern Clearfield County, there lies a small mining town, Coalport, Pennsylvania, one of thousands of coal mining towns. It's a town of community, history, and named for its coal mining heritage. I'm a product of that culture, and I want to share with you the story of our town, our coal, and our miners. Laid out by James Haynes and brothers Jacob and Samuel Spangle in the year 1883, the little town quickly grew with the arrival of the Bells Gap Railroad Company. This railroad, as well as the Pennsylvania Railroad Northwest Division and the New York Central Railroad, made Coalport a central hub bustling with sawmills, theaters, opera houses, and of course, coal mines. Coalport boomed along with the coal and steel industry. At the height of bituminous coal production in the Keystone State, there were more than 400 active mines in the Glendale Valley area where Coalport sits. Today, historic Coalport is home to less than 500 people, a small but mighty community, proud of their roots in the mines. The residents work to preserve their ancestry and town's history at the Coalport Area Coal Museum. This place is dedicated to the sturdy ore-filled past, reminding us of the days when coal was king. Come with me as we step into Pennsylvania's past to understand the lives and sacrifices of my ancestors, the miners of Coalport. This is our coal museum. In these halls, we preserve artifacts from the mines and the stories that accompany them. Many of those stories are ones of hard work and hardship, such as the tragic 1928 explosion at the Ivona Coal and Coke mine in Beccaria Township. You see, back in those days, the mines were especially dangerous, lacking many of the safety standards adopted and practiced today. Those men, those boys, risked everything, including their lives daily, to provide for their families. We have much to learn from our past. Let's try, however, for a brief time, to walk in the shoes of the miners who were here before us, to understand their struggles and their lives. Let's come to know their lives as we understand their arduous struggle. A day in the
mine starts out unassuming. You rose early in the morning before the sun. Putting on your oil-stained work clothes, you report to the mines around 6 a.m., sometimes walking miles to your post beneath the earth.
You could never predict your day or the dangers that lay in wait. Just past the mine's entrance, logs stacked nearly high enough to accommodate a standing position surrounded either side of the shaft, precariously supporting the weight of the world above it. The shafts alone threatened to collapse and crush miners before they could even chance an explosion. Dark, dirty, and claustrophobic, we hunkered down and crawled to our workspace.
I would worry for my husband from sunup until dawn, praying for a safe return.
We mined because we had to. Without an education, we labored away and ground our bodies to dust, right with the coal we mined.
We did all this work and more, sacrificing our physical bodies only to bring home a pittance. Each day, our load was weighed and our tags recorded in the payment office. We were paid in the company's script.
I wish my husband and son wouldn't have to work together. I fear the worst could happen with mine explosions or collapses.
The dangers were real and never far away. On August 15th, 1928, disaster struck at the Ivona Coal and Coke's No. 3 mine, killing 13 miners.
I can remember as if it was yesterday. It was just after 3 in the afternoon. I was working the Ivona Coal and Coke's No. 3 mine. We were sweaty and dusty and tired, but we still had more work to do. As I raised my pick, my partner and I heard a loud thud further down the mine. Almost immediately, the smell of gas became so pungent that we could almost taste it. We felt the heat on our faces. That's when I looked at my partner. He told me, "We're gonna die." It was only by pure chance that I was able to survive. Had I run down the wrong shaft, as my buddy did, I too would have joined our unfortunate 13 fellow members in death. I sure was lucky and grateful to return to my family that day, but I wouldn't be completely safe just by surviving that blast. Sometimes I'd get these coughing fits, and after a while, the wheeze in my chest never left me. The black lung wasn't uncommon for us miners. If the mines didn't take you themselves, well, they sure found a way to stick with you.
It's strange how fate works. It was a Wednesday and I would normally be working mine number 3, but that day was a holy day, the Feast of Assumption. As a Catholic, our faith prohibited many of us from working that day. Otherwise, there would have likely been more deaths.
Explosions, mine roof collapses, flooding, and more were just part of the job back then. Despite the explosion and deaths, the mines remained operational for decades after that tragedy.
But time and economics soon won out. Beginning in the 1950s, economics did what no calamity or danger could do. The mines began to close.
To hear more and to understand our miners' story, join us at the Coalport Area Coal Museum. Come and see our mining history and the stories of our workers. See the miners' tools and clothing, and understand the lives of those who played an essential and dangerous role in building our nation. The Coal Museum is located at 961 Forest Street in the Coalport Community Center. We look forward to seeing you there.